500,000 children have their identity stolen or have had their identity stolen from their own parent.
Me, you found a report on your mother.
Yes, I did.
On your mother.
Yes, I did, because I'm not going to take it no more.
My mom gave my social security number and all that information to my aunt, and she got a house, and the dumb bitch foreclosed. And I didn't know about it. I was 3 years old. 3 fucking years old. No shit about it until I was like, I don't know, 18, 19, 20, in my 20s when I pulled up my credit information. Ridiculous.
Okay to put bills in my name, Mom. You always ask me for money.
I have to pay the bills. Your daddy ain't never did shit.
But you work. Where
Okay,
does the
but I'm
money
a
go
single
when you
mother.
work?
But
You're
I'm a single
mom.
mother, and I have to take care of all of you guys.
It's not my
and I have to make sure that you
responsibility.
guys are being fed, and there's a roof over your head, and you have shoes. And
It's not my responsibility to take care of the family. It's not my responsibility. I don't have anything left.
Well, my mama been putting stuff under my name since I was 3. Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Why'd she do that?
I mean,
She jacked up her credit or what?
her credit been up since '89, so you know what I mean. I'm born in '97. That's new credit, you know.
So she was doing you a favor, paying your credit at age 3?
We lived a nice life off my credit at 3.
So basically, you're the man.
Yeah, I've always been. She's a single mother. You know, I've been the man of the house. So yeah.
Damn, bro.
What's up?
How's your credit score right now?
Right now, my credit score is like almost a 6 or around a 6. So it's all right. You know, I fixed it.
Ridiculous. Like the way you did my nephew is dirty. It's real dirty. The boy can't get nothing in his name. And you're going to. But you're going to. You know why?
I don't have to hear this. This is my house.
I don't care if it's your house. You know, I don't play about my nephew. You know that. You know that.
How you gonna talk to me about my son?
I'm gonna tell you. You know how? Because I gotta take care of him now. Because you screwed him up. He can't get no house. He can't get no car.
My credit report was damaged from 1993 to 2009. You should limit very much where your child's social security number is shared.
But a sad reality of child identity theft is something Betsy Hamilton knows all too well.
Child identity theft is that it's often committed by someone who's known to the child.
In Axton's case, it was her own mother.
A lot of y'all parents belong in hell. Holy hell. Strike that. Inferno. What up, everybody? I am the Mademoiselle, and this is my channel. Happy 4th of July for those of you guys who celebrate. Enjoy your hot dogs and your hamburgers. But anyways, let's get into what the video is about. If you guys are not aware, there's been a series of videos going viral regarding parents out here who have the nerve, gall, audacity to steal their children's identities without their permission, thinking that they would, I guess, fix it before their kids found out. But to their dismay, their kids are cursing them out and airing them out on TikTok. So let's talk about it. Let me just say straight up, if any of you guys have the nerve, gall, audacity to comment on this fucking video saying that these kids are wrong, they're fucked up, they're posting their parents for clout and they shouldn't be this upset, literally inferno. Okay, go to hell with these parents that think it was okay to use their children's identity for any type of personal gain. But at the same time, I guess I'll sympathize just a tad bit. Being a parent is difficult from what I understand, and being a single parent is probably 10 times more difficult. But I'm gonna just say to y'all what I always say to everybody to their face that's a single parent, and everybody on this channel that's a single parent. Sakte voyeux, okay, in the words of the Haitians, who sent you. I said what I said, I meant what I said, and I'm gonna say it again. I don't coddle people's feelings. Of course, I'm not gonna say no one. A lot of people don't want to be single parents. However, a lot of you guys need to learn to be sound in the decisions that you make. Your children did not ask to be here. And I understand a lot of you guys did not ask to be here. However, when you make a choice to lay down and have unprotected sex, or make a choice to go forth and have a child with someone that ain't shit, or continue to keep a child with someone that you know ain't gonna be shit, you therefore continue to take on the consequences of those actions. Sadly, a lot of these men ain't shit. A lot of these women ain't shit. Humans ain't shit. That's just what happens, okay? Like, I'm really sick and tired of people making children suffer for their inadequacies in life. It is not your child's fault that your baby father or your baby mother is trash. It is not your child's fault that you ain't had no money. It is not your child's fault that you chose the wrong person to lay with. It is not your child's fault that literally you could not pick up the slack where you should have. And if anything I said bothered you, just click the fuck off, because the rest of the video is going to bother you too. Okay. And I really don't want to hear anyone else talking about something.
Oh, well, you're just saying that because you're not a parent yet. Watch.
I genuinely don't give a fuck. I have parents that literally put me in one of the worst, okay, financial situations, and still continuously put me in very hard financial situations. And luckily I made it out of that. I moved out of my parents' house at 22 with like $500 to my name, mentally distraught. I probably could have ended my own life if I did not leave. Okay. I've made videos forever, but still to this day, I love my parents to death. And you know why? Because my parents never used my identity for credit. They never took my shit and tried to buy a house, tried to buy a car, tried to use it for utilities. Shit, my dad had a gambling problem and my mom was a pushover. But this whole idea of taking your kids who are innocent and underage and like taking their shit and using it to like pay bills, whatever, like, inferno. Okay. Like, my parents have done a lot of things to me, and many things could be true at the same time. However, I've just accepted at this point that literally them trying their best and it not being good enough. And for a lot of you guys, I feel like that's what it is. But also for a lot of you guys that defend this type of behavior, y'all didn't learn a damn thing. That's what it is. At least for my parents, they've said sorry. Okay. But a lot of them, they don't really understand. I feel like what a lot of like foreign parents, they don't understand. I feel like what a lot of black parents, y'all don't understand. But at the same time, a lot of you guys, y'all understand exactly what y'all are doing, but y'all just don't care. Okay, like, y'all know what credit is. Y'all know how it affects your children, because y'all know enough about it to say, okay, I'm gonna use my kid's social security. I'm gonna take this out, do whatever it is that I need to do. Oh, I'm gonna make sure I pay it back before they turn 18. And then it's time for them to go to college. It's time for them to go out in the real world, but you don't fucking return it. And then when they're upset and they can't do anything, you're guilt tripping them because they're upset. Where they do that at?
You say that she stole your identity and opened up, what, 10 credit cards?
10, maybe more. This is my journal. Almost all of these pages are filled with the identity theft my mom put me through. Police reports, as you can see, fraud right there. She's been putting credit cards in my name since the day I turned 18.
Very well documented that says you did open multiple credit cards in her name.
I did not. I opened 2, and she was aware of those.
Telling me you found a report on your mother.
Yes, I did.
On your mother.
Yes, I did, because I'm not going to take it no more. I don't have to take this anymore.
So what's more important to you? Your credit or your mother?
I should not have to choose. I should not have to choose between the two.
Well, you gonna choose today. Because
who has to do this? Who has to even go through this mess? I'm sick of this stuff. You said the last time you wasn't going to do it again, and then here we are. And you know not to mess it. Now you messing stuff up. You messing stuff up for my future. I can't even get a house. You stay here. Are you kidding me? Oh, no. You already did this before. This is how I found out the first time when I was trying to get them student loans. I couldn't even go to
can I help it? And, you know, by the grace of God, we'll figure something out.
It's wrong to use your child's name in bills. It is wrong. It should be against the law. Why aren't they doing anything about it?
Because they can't, daughter. I was doing what I had to do. I don't even know why you called them and put them in our business anyway.
This is crazy.
Well, if they lock you up, I'm going to have to get bail money. I'm just going to have to get bail money.
I can't believe you would let them lock me up, daughter.
What? It's nothing else I can do.
Well, listen, we gonna have to call all these bills that you put her name
at
under.
Least pay off the bills. Like I got
situated.
Well, you help me do. You help me do that.
I have debt that I didn't even do. I have debt that I didn't even make. I have to pay back $60,000. I don't have that kind of money.
That's a lot of money.
That's why I didn't go to college.
That's a lot of money.
I'm so.
You are not sorry. You do that with every last one of your kids. Okay to put bills in my name, Mom. You always asking me for money.
I have to pay the bills. Your daddy ain't never did shit.
But you work. Where
okay,
does the
but
money
I'm a
go
single
when you
mother.
work?
But I'm a single mother, and I have to take care of all of you guys.
It's not my responsibility.
And I have to make sure that you guys are being fed, and there's a roof over your head, and you have shoes.
It's not my responsibility to take care of the family. It's not my responsibility. I don't have anything left. I shouldn't be in debt at 26 years old.
But that's why you're
supposed
to college
to be
and get
supporting
an
me.
education.
I can't pay for college.
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can. How can I pay for college?
You can get federal grants and everything.
Federal grant? You got a federal grant? My point.
Up all her money now.
My
you
point.
Federal
my point. And you still asking me for money. You still asking me for money every week. I gotta pay this. I gotta pay that. You still asking me for money. What would you do if I wasn't here? What would you do if I wasn't here? What would you be doing?
Can we go in the store now? I need something to eat.
Ridiculous. Like the way you did my nephew is dirty. It's real dirty. The boy can't get nothing in his name. And you're going to. But you're going to. You know why?
I don't have to hear this. This is my house.
I don't care if it's your house. You know, I don't play about my nephew. You know that. You know that.
How you gonna talk to me about my son?
I'm gonna tell you. You know how? Because I gotta take care of him now. Because you screwed him up. He can't get no house. He can't get no car. You done did all of that.
Who are you to throw the first stone? Huh?
It's not about the first. It's not about the first stone.
I remember.
And what was the problem with that?
Sneaking folks into the house. Who you think was covering for you?
But who ruined their child's future? Not me. Not me. So let's really be real about that. Yeah,
I don't know why you over here.
You know how I get.
Your voice over here with me.
Yeah.
But it's not gonna go down like
because
that.
That's my nephew.
Hold on. Since y'all wanna yell and do all this yelling,
why can't you just apologize?
I got your stuff right here.
So you really can't be out.
You and her.
So you really
get your stuff and going on out
Mama, I can't even get no house.
You the one that called me.
I did not put it in her name. She voluntarily did it herself. She went and got energy assistance to prove that she's the one.
Subsequently, she closed the account.
Right.
She closed the account. It was reopened. How?
I was talking to her, and she felt bad for me, and she says, Mom, I don't want you to not have electricity. I'll let you do it a little bit longer until you get your situation straightened out.
Okay, very good. You owe her $1,235.
So this part of the video went completely mute, so I promise y'all it's not going to be too long. The video is not going to look too ghetto for that much longer, but we have to talk about how these men are not held accountable for leaving these women and these children high and dry. And it gets so bad to the point that these women feel like their last resort is to use their children's credit in order to get ahead or even just to scrape by. I feel like both parties are equally at fault for this, because a lot of these men, okay, if not all of these men that aren't in the lives of their children, never have a real excuse as to why. It's always, oh, well, I couldn't. Oh, well, you know, this happened. And it's never anything that really is a real excuse. Okay. When you ask them why didn't they visit their kid, it's always, oh, my car broke down. Oh, I didn't have money for a bus. Oh, when it's, why didn't you send money for your kid? Oh, I didn't have the money. Nigga, go get the money. Go get a job. Oh, well, I couldn't find a job. When you ask, why didn't you, go see your kid or, make make the effort. Oh, well, the mother didn't let me. Why didn't you go to court? Oh, well, you know, the court was going to side with her anyway. Well, did you try? Oh, well, you know, I didn't want to go to court and do all. Like, it's just like, y'all motherfuckers have everything, like all the excuses in the world. And a lot of time it just chops up to the fact that y'all don't want to deal with the mother of your children because they're annoying. They cause drama, this, that, and the third. And it's like, that's not a reason for you to let your children's lives go downhill. Point blank, period. You guys are not sending money. You're not spending time with your children. You are letting these mothers' mental health literally go down the drain. And a lot of you guys, you don't care about the mothers. That's fine. But understand, if the mother is going through mental health crises and literally not okay, the children are not going to be okay as well. You have to care about the child more than you care about the mother. That's literally what it is. And if you are so far removed to the point where you're like, oh, I really don't give a fuck what happens, this is what happens. Okay, these types of situations is what happens. And it really bothers me because, like, you know, I can't even tell y'all how many people I cut off, how many men and women that I cut off specifically because they refuse to have anything to do with their children because, oh, the baby mother this, the baby father that. Yes, y'all, there is deadbeat baby mothers out there. I just had to stop talking to them because it's like, are you really fucking serious? Like, you're telling me you're not going to go see your kid because you don't want to deal with the mom? Like, grow the fuck up. Grow the fuck up. That's why I said what I said in the beginning of this video, because it's like, y'all need to grow up. Like, y'all sat there and laid with these people, had kids with these people, and now the kids have to suffer because you're an idiot. Like, come on. Like, be fucking for real. You know, like, a lot of these men especially are the reason that a lot of these things happen, because at the end of the day, if a lot of these men were actually providing child support, whether it was through the court or, you know, through amicable means with the mothers, they wouldn't feel the need to have to take their children's credit. I'm not excusing this behavior, but it's true. Kids have every right to be upset because what you did is fraud. What you did is illegal. What you did is fucked up for all intents purposes. So to sit there and try to say that these kids are clout chasing and they're wrong and they're this, no, these kids are reacting technically the way you did, out of anger. Okay, they're acting the way that they know how to act. Like, at the end of the day, you can't be mad at how someone acts based on how you treated them. They're allowed to act however the fuck they want at this point. You know, you can't police how someone acts towards you when literally you gave them no choice. So if you guys haven't seen any of these videos circulating, because honestly, I feel like one of these videos circulates like every few months, then honestly, you've been living under a rock. Or at least I know you guys know someone who's went through this. I know you guys have seen someone go through a situation where essentially they've had their identity taken from one of their parents or a family member. And it's probably one of the worst things that someone could go through, because trying to clean up a mess like that is really, really bad.
They also ruined my credit, and I really don't know how to fix this. Can you give me some tips? Unfortunately, there isn't really an easy way to fix this, but the first thing you do need to do is get copies of your credit report so you can assess the damage, and then from there, you can put a freeze on your credit, which will prevent them from opening new accounts in your name. But it's fraud, so doesn't that mean I can get these accounts removed from my credit report? Well, technically yes. However, the bureaus will typically only remove accounts if you can provide proof of the fraud, and this often involves reporting the theft and filing a police report. But just know, if you decide to go this route, they will probably go after your parents for the debt and press charges.
In Wichita, Kansas, working for a computer manufacturer. I had 2 kids with my now ex-wife at that time. During that time, I was in love with BMWs. There was nothing that I wanted more than a BMW. And one of my owner's friends was selling his 5 or 7 series, can't remember what it was, but I remember it being purple. It had like sparkly purple paint, and like when the light hit it, it would kind of change color. Absolutely gorgeous car. And I was like, yep, I want that car. So I go down to the local bank, you know, fill out the credit application. They pull my credit and they're like, hey, there's no way you can get a car. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, I have a car loan currently. I pay all my bills. I make good money. And yeah, they're like, you have like 20 collections out on you. And I was like, what the fuck? So I get a copy of my credit report. Everything under the sun was in my name. multiple of each: water bills, electricity bills, cable bills, satellite bills, every utility bill, cell phones, you name it, it was in my name. So immediately call these companies of like, you know, again, you think your identity's stolen, so you would never expect it to be your dad. So of course, you know, one of them I call up is a water bill. Like, what service was the for what address? And it was like, oh, that's my biological father's address. So I call up this dude and denies it. It's like, you can't deny it. It's on my credit report. Then he was like, oh, well, you told me it was okay. It's like, number one, I didn't. I think I would know that. Two, when I say, hey, put this in my name and then don't pay the bill, that would be great. So I lost my shit. So the last time I talked to my biological father was about 14 years ago. It took me 4 years to get everything out of my name. It was a long, hard battle. I immediately, during that time called the police up here in Wisconsin, got a police report where he lived at the time. He moves all over. No charges were ever filed or, anything with that. They're too busy to handle stolen identity. But, yeah, that was a whole process, and now tomorrow I board a flight to go back to Idaho, where I'm from, where he lives, working at a grocery store. So,
story time on how I found out that my mother stole my identity and ruined my credit. Spoiler alert, we are now awaiting trial. So, I lived with my aunt and my uncle from the time I was like 12 or 13 until 18 years old, because my mother is horrible. Story time for another time. Anyways, so when I turned 18, it was time to skiddly daddle, get my own phone plan, move out, all that stuff. So when I did that, I went to the AT&T store to get my phone on my own plan, and they could not verify my identity. It's bizarre, but I didn't feel like sitting there for hours and hours and hours while we tried to figure out what was going on. So we just got my phone put on my roommate's plan, and that was it. Fast forward, I met my husband. It was time for us to get an apartment and get our own phone plan and credit cards and all that. Well, none of those places could verify my identity either. So it was time to start looking into this. So I ran my credit, pulled up the credit report, and my credit score was a 412. And it shouldn't have been anything because I didn't have anything in my name at that time. So I looked on my credit report and saw that there was a loan for over $1,000 taken out of my name over 6 months. This had been over 6 months ago, with zero payments made. The minimum payment was $22 a month and zero had been made, so less than a tank of gas. So I called the bank that the loan was taken out of, and I was like, what is this about? I did not take this loan out. What was this used for? Yada, yada. This loan was used to purchase an Xbox and accessories and all that. She is the only person other than myself that would know my social security number and my information like that. I texted her and I was like, oh my gosh, somebody took out a loan in my name. I've got to figure this out. I can't get anything put in my name, Like, I didn't say it was her. And she blocked me. So that right there told me everything I needed to know, but I obviously needed hardcore proof. I was on the phone with this customer service agent from the bank, and I said, if I give you this address and email, can you verify that this is where it was sent to? So I gave them her address, which I have never lived at, and they confirmed that is where this Xbox was sent. So I reached out to her on Facebook or something and was like, I'm going to give you until the end of the year to start making payments on this because I really don't want to have to, press charges. So I reached out to her husband again, was like, hey, I'm going to give you until the end of the year to figure this out. Still no payments were made, and I was blocked by him. So I had to press charges. I went to the police station, filed a police report. She was arrested in Ohio, which is where she lives. She was in that jail for 30 days and then expedited here, Alabama. And then she made bail. She pled not guilty, requested to go to trial. This is 2 years ago. It's been 2 years since this happened, or a little over 2 years. Anyways, so a couple months ago, I get a call from the district attorney saying that my mother has applied for the deferred program, which is basically like probation, and if you finish it, then it gets off of your record. I said, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. And jury selection is May 13th, and then the trial begins that week as well. She called me when she got arrested. She called me from jail. How could you do this to me? I'm your mother. I can't believe you would do this. Please drop the charges, yada, yada, yada. When I said, I can't drop the charges, it is now the state versus you, she's like, I hate you, and hung up the phone. I I'm sorry, but I think you got things backwards, Jessica, because how could you do this to me? I am your daughter.
My dad stole my identity and opened 3 credit cards in my name, and now I'm trying to buy a house, but I can't. I found out that my dad used my information to open 3 credit cards within the last year. When I went to get approval for the mortgage, they told me that I wouldn't be able to get a home loan because of the defaulted credit cards. They also told me that I wouldn't be able to get a loan from any lender because of the defaulted. They also told me that I wouldn't be able to get a loan from any lender because of the defaulted credit cards, and they gave me a piece of paper on how I needed to proceed and figure things out. When I tried disputing the cards, one of which is already in collections, the disputes got closed out because the debts were already verified. I told my parents about it, who are divorced, and their answers were pretty wildly different. My dad said that these things happen and I should be more careful with my social security number in the future. Seeing as I've always been careful with it, that made me pretty upset. On the other hand, my mom said that she thinks my dad might have a part to play in it, since him opening credit cards in her name had a part to play in them getting divorced. She told me that he ran up about $50,000 of credit card debt on secret credit cards.
And I know there's a genuine consensus here for a lot of people who do this to their kids or other family members that, oh, well, they could apply for bankruptcy. Oh, you could just call the cops. Oh, you could just, say it was fraud and, it goes away. But it's like, that's not the point. The point is, as an adult, you should not do those things to your children. The point is, there's a certain level of trust between child and parent. This is not just regular toxic parenting. Whatever the case may be, whatever you want to call it, this is literally a betrayal of trust. You're taking your child's identity and running up their credit before they even can spell the fucking word credit. Where do they do that at? Okay, at least if you guys were using it to build credit, at the very least, and even at that, I don't even agree with that. Okay, but at least if that's what you were doing, it would make somewhat sense. But you guys are fucking disturbing and you're disgusting. Put your kid's name on the gas bill, to open cable, apartment, to get a car, and then you don't pay the bill. Let's be real. And it's not even surprising that you don't pay the bill because you didn't even pay your own bill. That's why you have to do it on your kid's name. And then you tell yourself, oh, I'm going to pay before they turn 18. I'm going to pay before they get out the house. I'm going to pay before they go to college. I'm going to pay before they start their own life. They're not even going to notice. Of course they're going to notice because they're going to have to run their own credit. It's absolutely despicable to me how a lot of you guys do this. And you don't think that there's going to be any consequences for your actions toward your own kids. And then when your kids try to hold you accountable, all you do is gaslight them. It's very concerning to me, because at the end of the day, they should be able to live their lives as your kid. They should be able to live their lives at least with a clean slate. And I think that's what a lot of people are forgetting when it comes to this type of conversation. They should be able to have a clean slate. They shouldn't have to start life off trying to get a loan for college or a car loan or trying to get an apartment. And then they find out oh shit, I can't get this apartment. Why can't I get this apartment? I can't get this apartment specifically because credit is bad at 18. I just turned 18. I'm trying to get this apartment. I can't get this apartment because I have all this shit on my credit report. Missed payments, collection, all this shit on my credit report. Come on, make it make sense. It doesn't make sense. It will never make sense. A lot of you guys have priorities that don't align with real life. Okay, you sit there and everything is about you. Everything is about how you feel. It's never about how other people are affected, especially your own kids. And then you guys are the first ones to be confused as to why your kids don't call, why your kids don't visit, why when they have kids, you don't see your grandkids. That's why. You're selfish. Now, the fact that a lot of these kids have taken it upon themselves to actually call the cops, I don't know. Comment down below, because of course I would love to hear if any of you guys have had these situations with your parents, but I definitely want to know if you guys agree with any of these kids calling the cops on their parents, because I don't know if I would take it as far as to call the cops, but I do understand why these kids would call the cops on their parents, because not only is it fraud, but it's just one of those things where it's bro, yeah, I mean, I think, if I'm not mistaken, if you do call the credit bureau or the bank and say, hey, suspicious activity, you might need a police report. I might be wrong here though, but I mean, I think it's just to teach the parents a lesson, but still, it's just I feel with some people, especially with certain parents, they gotta learn. And some people, especially adults, they only learn when you actually do a drastic measure. Y'all only learn when like people actually like do something that drastic, like call the cops on y'all. Again, I don't think I would call the cops on my own parents, but a lot of y'all are just a little bit too much. Imagine a lot of you guys will get confronted by your kids. Oh, why would you take this out in my name? And they'd be like, oh, forget about it. It's not that serious. I'm paying back. But call the cops and you start listening, right? So I will say that I understand that some people, that's how they learn. Again, I don't think I would do something like that, but for a lot of y'all, that's how you gonna learn. So it's just like, to be quite honest with you, I feel like with a lot of these parents, even though I understand a lot of you guys had to struggle to get to where you are and raise your kids, but I will say with a lot of you guys, it is self-inflicted. And I don't want anyone to sit there, bitch, cry, and complain and say it's a black thing, it's a this thing. No, it's a people thing. It might be a generational thing. But like a lot of you guys, you put yourselves in these situations in some way, somehow. You expect your kids to struggle with you. And then you sit there, by doing this, you're putting your kids in the same exact struggle. Genuinely, I'm not a fan of this type of behavior, and I'm a very no nonsense person. I'm not about to sit here and give anyone grace for this type of behavior, because what you're doing is you're causing more generational trauma and inhibiting generational wealth when you sit here and you put your kids in this type of predicament. And what I notice in a lot of these videos is a lot of these parents trying to justify this behavior, like, oh, well, you could go to school, you could go to more school, you don't have to, pay it back, you could file for bankruptcy, you could do this, you could do that. And it's like, not everybody wants to go to school. Not everybody wants to do all these things that you're suggesting. Niggas want a clean fucking slate. Like, what the fuck are you even saying right now? Like, that shit is fucking irritating, bro. Like, don't tell me what I need to do or what I can do with my time, my money, and my effort, bitch. Like, that's not what I feel like doing. Like, that ass. So I will say that when it comes to these type of situations, all of y'all watching this, if you're young, get a LifeLock type of situation, download Aura, something like that, to make sure that you always have track of your social security numbers and things like that, because niggas is foul, okay? Like, and I hate to say it, like, your family could be the most foul. Some of y'all have really toxic parents. Some of y'all have parents that really would use your stuff in order to get ahead. And I am so sorry if something like this has happened to you. And I know I said some really harsh things in this video, and I said what I said, I meant what I said, and I'll say it again. A lot of y'all parents need to get it together and understand that a lot of what is happening to you or has happened to you is your fault, and you need to go to fucking therapy. Do not blame your kids or take life away from your kids simply because you made bad choices. Your kids should not have to suffer because you picked a bad partner or you literally did things that are now irreversible. Make better choices in the future. Stop making bad ones, like taking your children's identity, because that is ridiculous. With that being said, thank you so very much for watching this video. If you are in New Jersey, I do hope to see you at my event. Everything you need is going to be linked down below. And as of right now, we are still having a flash sale. With that being said, make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, check out my other channels, and I'm gonna see y'all next time.